We're gonna get killed by an airplane.
Good. I'm ready to go. Is that a t-shirt idea? You do it this way and then you put it over your head and it goes the other way?
So I can get it.
Let's do it. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of How About This Movie, That Movie, This Movie.
The other movie.
How about this movie?
How about what movie?
Lethal Weapon from 1987. Our shout out for Lethal Weapon and for the whole Lethal Weapon series that we're doing.
So far.
No, he's just gonna get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty easy to guess the other two.
He's 50%. He just gets it.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2 right now.
And it was so immediate. Just like the first one both times within like
Minutes.
3 minutes.
Our good buddy Abel. Go
Ba-ba-ba.
ahead and follow him at A is for Abel.
A underscore
Is underscore for
underscore
Abel.
EL.
So many underscores.
I think we've given him a shout out before because I remember spelling it out before.
I believe he still makes stuff on YouTube as well.
He was starting his own podcast. I don't remember what it was called.
I don't even know if he's done it or not yet. But if he has,
Keep an eye out.
yeah, you'll probably know before we will because you're gonna go follow him on social media. I guess. Tyson, who was in this movie?
Directed by
That wasn't
Richard
the question.
Donner. I've answered my own questions.
I think it's just become the thing. Who's in this movie? Director. I think that's just become the thing.
Well, you normally ask who's in this movie and who directed it. But you didn't do that this time.
No,
Tyson, who's in this movie and who directed it? You didn't do that this time. So I was just like, that was not the question.
I don't give a fuck about who directed movies. Just kidding. Tyson, who is in this movie?
It was directed by Richard Donner. The guy who did Superman 1 and 2, and he also did The Goonies. He did all the Lethal Weapons, actually. He's done a lot of things.
So, before watching The Lethal Weapon, the only movie I would have watched that he did was The Goonies. Because I didn't watch Superman 1 and 2.
Yeah. Stars Mel Gibson as Martin Riggs. Mel Gibson is probably most well known from Braveheart and Mad Max. Though he's also in
What Women Want?
Yeah, What Women Want. He's in The Patriot. He's in We Were Soldiers. Is there something you want to get off your chest, Dexter?
Nope. I'm good.
Also stars Danny Glover as Roger Murtaugh. He was in Predator 2 in 2012. He's most well known for the Lethal Weapons, though.
For sure.
But he's been in a lot of stuff. He's been acting for a long time. He's been in like a few things this year. So, it also has Gary Busey, who was in Point Break and Black Sheep, among others. Yeah.
I like Black Sheep. I mean, it's basically Tommy Boy, but it's a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different. That's the one where he yells, "Kill Whitey!"
Yep,
Right?
yep.
That was hilarious. Mitchell Ryan is also the other villain next to Gary Busey. He was in Liar Liar and also Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers.
That guy looks...
Mike Myers played Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Michael
Right.
Myers was a serial killer.
Yeah.
Fictional serial
Fictional
killer.
serial killer.
Yeah.
Same thing.
That dude looked insanely familiar, and I knew that I had seen him in something, and right when you were like, oh, he's in Liar Liar, I was like, oh yeah, he played fucking Jim Carrey's boss. Like, boss.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could picture the roast scene, like, immediately.
Yep.
But yeah, I could not fucking name that guy yesterday. At all.
Or whenever we watch this movie.
Tuesday. Tuesday's yesterday. And yesterday is tomorrow.
Crazy.
Both are relative concepts.
Makes sense.
How you doing, girl? Am I interrupting you?
No, I'm done.
Hell yeah.
That's all I wrote.
Professional.
Hyped. That's all my fingers put down onto a device.
Those are the only people in this movie. That's it.
All 4 of them play every single role.
Yep. Eddie
That's
Murphy style.
That is not true.
You won't see any other people.
The minute.
What's the movie about?
Hold on a second. There's cars going by. Gosh. They're still going. I'm just going to go. So Lethal Weapon, pretty standard fare buddy cop movie. I shouldn't say standard fare because it was pretty new, that genre in the 80s. I don't think there was a lot of them before the 80s. I don't know. There's a lot of movies. I'm just going to assume buddy cop movies started in the 80s. Blanket statement. None before, hundreds of thousands since. The pretty, like, standard dynamic. The old grizzled veteran in Murtaugh. The loose cannon in Riggs. But there's, like, way more to the story. Like, especially, like, with Riggs. Murtaugh's character is kind of straightforward, in my opinion, the way he's portrayed. But the layers to the Riggs character, with the tragedy and the suicide, top notch storytelling.
It's like Brad Pitt and Seven after the box.
Kind of like if he was allowed to return to work.
Yeah,
I could see that. Murtaugh and Riggs get partnered up and start working together, if you will, as one. My eyebrow itches. I'm so sorry. Murtaugh starts the case by investigating a jumper and then gets assigned his partner Riggs. And it just kind of like speeds up from there. Like, he's investigating a jumper, or they're investigating a jumper, and then all of a sudden it's like explosions and like flyby assassinations.
Well, they get a pretty straightforward case of a prostitute on drugs, and then Riggs was like, that's too clean for me. I don't like how clean it is. And then he starts thinking like, oh, but what if the person that saw it was there, and then they wanted to get suspicion off of them, so they called the police, and they're like, hey, I saw the whole thing. And then they just go home. And they're like, that's thin.
It's thin.
And then it's explosions from there.
It's real thin. It was so exciting. Like, I mean, it's a typical police action movie plot. Good guys forced to work together that don't want to work together. Catch bad guys. Shoot things. Explosions. Couple titties. That's all you need to know about the plot.
They try to get into the cops' personal lives. So there's personal lives in the movie that get exploited by the bad guys.
Yeah.
The end.
Dude, the bad guys in the Lethal Weapon movies so far, incredibly well, like, organized.
They do very well at making you hate them.
Yeah. So true.
Typically like white collar criminals, kind of.
Yeah. That, like,
murdering people is definitely white collar criminal. Yeah.
They're not loose, but they're not like a loose affiliation of bad guys. Like, the bad guys in this are like all ex-military, special forces kind of characters. Yeah. Bad guys in the next one are all like government officials. Like, it's They're real tight and well-oiled. There's no loose ends.
It's not just some, like, willy-nilly drug dealers out on the street of LA.
Yeah, it's not sloppy.
They're not just stumbling in on some low-level gang shit.
Like, there's a part where he lights Gary Busey's hand on fire for like 25 seconds. Like,
he's proving the loyalty of the mercenaries.
Yeah. They execute, man. You know what wasn't bad, though? Lethal Weapon.
Yeah?
Lethal Weapon was not bad.
The storyline was pretty tight. There wasn't a whole lot of holes.
Yeah, no, I feel like they did a good job. It was pretty straightforward. There wasn't a lot that didn't make sense. The only part that I had any trouble tracking is that Murtaugh was in Vietnam and Riggs was in Vietnam. And Murtaugh's 12 years older than Riggs. But, I mean, that's not impossible. Just like, if Riggs was 18 when he was in Vietnam, that would make Murtaugh 30. And Riggs was Special Forces. So he had to at least be in his, like, early mid-20s. Which is going to put Riggs closer to his mid to late 30s. There's some math there that I find a little bit confusing. If I'm being honest. If I'm being honest. Never been in the military.
Yeah.
I'm not employed by the military. You know, to give you an inside look at what I do. I'm not a soldier. But aside from that, I thought it was all quite well done. I think Shane Black's story was very well put together. I mean, it's cheesy and it's a little bit over the top, but it's good.
Yeah, it doesn't like try to pretend to be anything other than
no.
that,
Yeah, it's not like exactly. It owns that it's a cheesy 80s action movie. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Cleaning up of loose ends definitely escalates from spiking a druggie's drugs to home explosions. There's definitely an escalation in the cleaning up of loose ends that kind of just makes it more action-packed, because you would think they would have an MO with them dealing drugs to just continue doing the whole drug thing. But then they are just like, druggie killed by drugs, home explosion, helicopter, and guns. Like, it's...
That was one thing that we did say. It didn't make sense for the first death to be so sneaky, and then the second death to be, like...
so public.
Well, this is, like, realistically, a home explosion is medium sneaky. Because it could have been a gas main or something like that.
Especially with, like, a low-income neighborhood.
Yeah. There is no sneaky to flying a helicopter to the funeral service, killing the father of the dead child, and flying away. There was 30 other people there.
They know it's a deliberate killing. It's not like, oh, he just died in his sleep, so sad.
Yeah.
It's a very, like, this was homicide.
So that would be one thing, plot-wise, that I would say isn't perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. I thought it was pretty cool.
It's action-packed movie. What else are you gonna do? You're gonna not
Yeah,
have
you're gonna just, like...
You're gonna not have a helicopter?
Silently poison people instead for the whole movie? That's not gonna get you. It's not gonna grab you by the ears and kiss you on the nose. It's not gonna get your attention.
No.
I do, however, if I ever make high-powered enemies, want to be killed by helicopter flyby assassination.
While you're drinking eggnog.
Preferably. If it's out of season, I can be drinking another seasonal beverage, but preferably eggnog.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable saying this because I'll never have high-powered enemies.
And you don't drink eggnog that much.
I mean, I drink enough to be shot while drinking it. You only have to drink it like once a year.
It's true.
They just have to time it. But that they'd have to own the helicopter. So that rental would get expensive.
Like you're drinking eggnog and you're done with the glass and they run up and they're like, fuck! We're too late.
Are you gonna have another one? No, I'm
All right,
mine
boys.
for the year.
Yeah, I'm done.
If I drink another one, I'm gonna get the shits.
Yeah, and
So.
it's a little rich for me.
Train, dude.
The helicopter got stuck in a train.
Yes.
Fuck. Must have been a huge train. What was the budget of this movie?
Well, the budget of this movie was $15 million or around about that. Opening weekend, it earned only $6.8 million. However, its total worldwide gross was $120 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
15 million in the 80s?
yeah.
Wow.
Pretty decent budget.
Some, expensive explosions.
Yeah.
Mm.
And all the drugs on the set were real. Yeah.
Tight.
So that was part of it. I mean, you heard the $100,000 worth of coke that Mel Gibson had right there in the middle beginning bit.
$100,000.
Also, all them Christmas trees that they had to get for that scene.
Yeah.
True.
And they had to pay people not to kill themselves because the city hung up the Christmas decorations like 6 months early for the movie.
Depressing.
Yeah. So all of the like counseling and stuff they had to pay for that too.
Dark.
Anything else budget wise?
Nope.
I just kind of talked over you again.
No, that's it.
Hell yeah. So, yeah, let's do favorite scenes. Carly, what was your favorite scene?
I think when they were just chilling, shooting shit on the boat. Daughter's just like, can I go to a club? And the dad cop's like, no, you smoked weed in the house.
That was so strange to me. Just like that whole handling of his daughter smoking weed, but like...
You can have some beer.
He's not arresting her. He's okay that she drinks underage, but he is pissed that she was smoking. Like,
smoking in the house.
It's a weird dynamic.
Like, she's allowed to do illegal things.
Just not in the house.
Yeah.
Unless it's beer.
And then it's fine.
Yeah, and then it's okay.
Right, I'm in the wrong.
Just don't smoke in the house.
Yeah.
But you can have a beer.
Yeah, it's these changing dynamics and rules. The perspectives are...
Yeah.
It's, it's strange.
I think a lot of just when Riggs is over at Murtaugh's house and just like when he's experiencing the whole family life.
Yeah.
And forgetting his own sad, depressed life for a little bit.
Yeah, it's honestly pretty cute.
Do you like my wife's cooking?
Dude, the eyes though, when he asks if he liked the wife's cooking. No. What the fuck, Mel?
Like terrified, like, are you going to kill me? I'm going to tell you the truth. Fucking no.
Like, he was laughing and smiling, and then Murtaugh, do you really like my wife's cooking? No. Like, what? What happened? I don't get it. Tyson, what was your favorite scene in this movie?
I'd say probably the scene where they're in the desert and they're trying to do the exchange for Murtaugh's daughter.
Riggs is all sneaky, very far away.
Riggs is like, I'm totally dead, but actually is as a sniper.
I'm not actually dead. Yeah.
But you bitch is about to be.
That was a cool scene.
That was a cool scene.
It was really tense.
It was really like there was some serious disconnect between what Riggs was trying to do and what Murtaugh was doing and what the Rianne, I think that's right, was trying to do. Riggs is like, move to the left, and Murtaugh's like, I got a grenade, and Rianne's like, ah!
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
That's the whole scene.
Truncated down to 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Jesus.
What's your favorite scene, Daxton?
I mean, it's the scene after the jumper when Murtaugh pulls Riggs into the store that's being remodeled or whatever, and they actually like have it out, and Riggs has the gun in his hand and is like pulling the trigger, like
put it in your mouth. What if it goes through your ear and doesn't actually kill you?
Yeah,
like it'll go through your ear and actually kill you if it goes through your ear.
Well, not necessarily.
Like they're not connected.
Yeah, they are. There's a big tube and your brain sits on top of it. It's your ear tube. That's how it goes in one ear and out the other.
Goes in one ear and out what?
The other. This isn't Lethal Weapon 2, motherfucker. But yeah, that was my favorite scene.
They were very sweaty in that scene.
They were incredibly sweaty.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very tense scene. I thought it was beautifully acted, and it was so high energy. A lot of tense scenes like that can be kind of down, but they just like kept the pedal, like the foot on the pedal during that scene. Because you come from the jumper, which is like intense but like measured, and then Riggs jumps off the building, and then you lose all sense of the measured approach when Murtaugh grabs Riggs, and they go into the store and they start shouting, and it's just it was really, really good. That was a dog. Comment down below if you heard the dog. Woof! Tyson, what would you score this movie and would you recommend it?
I'd score this movie an 8 out of 10. It's a really good action film. If you're into that sort of thing, which I am.
Which you are.
Yeah, I love action movies. And this is a good one.
Yes.
It was a great one, I should say. And I would recommend it to everybody.
To everybody. Carly.
Mm-hmm.
What would you score this movie? And would you recommend it?
I would probably go 7 out of 10. Like, I appreciate it being very iconic, probably back in the day. I understand why it's referenced a lot and why it became such a big franchise. I feel like it's something a lot of people can feel good about.
Yeah.
And it's just a general, really okay movie. And yeah, definitely go watch it. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, it's true.
It's pretty safe.
Unless you don't like anything that this movie does, then you will be wildly disappointed.
It's true.
I'm gonna split it right between you guys. 8, 7, 7.5-ish.
Good math skills.
Yeah, you know, I dropped out of high school, no big deal.
7 5/10.
Getting there. I mean, it's 80s cheese for sure, but it doesn't ever claim to not be. It's very exciting. It's a fun movie. Bringing it back.
There it is.
It's also got a great story, and the character development is awesome. And like I said, I really, truly adore the character of Riggs. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I'd definitely give it a 7.5 out of 10. Out of 10? 7.5 out of 10, you know? And I'd definitely recommend it, yeah. I don't think that there's much to this movie to be bummed about. Like,
yeah.
It's great action if you like action. There's a little bit of comedy if you like comedy. And, I mean, there is some serious acting if you like drama.
And some great one-liners.
And, like all great 1980s movies, man-ass.
Yep.
You do see some butt.
And some boobage.
Yep.
Some titties.
This film doesn't open. It introduces the first protagonist.
Don't you see the jumper first?
Yeah, that's why I said doesn't open.
Yeah.
Doesn't open. You see the first protagonist. So the opener, the jumper, does drugs and jumps after masturbating while listening to some... Listening? Yeah, that's the right word. To some sort of music.
Mm-hmm.
That could just be the score, by the way. That might not actually be what she's hearing. The first protagonist is introduced. Sergeant Roger Murtaugh It's his birthday. He's in the bathtub.
Wang hanging out.
His whole family comes in the bathroom.
In the tub.
Not a bubble bath. I mean, I'm not saying that makes it okay, but I'm saying that it hides things. That's all I'm saying. It hides things. No bubbles. Dick fully out. 2 small children. His wife. Totally acceptable. She's seen his dick. That's why there's 3 of them. That's weird enough. Like, I get it's his birthday and you're bringing him a birthday cake on his birthday at his birthday party with a birthday cake. But he's naked. And then his oldest daughter sits on the floor next to the tub, gives him a big hug, and kisses him. I'm not judging. Parents can kiss their children within reason. Your dick being out is out of reason.
I think they were definitely trying to show that he does not have any privacy. Like, he has a family that is very bearing over his life. I think there could have been other ways to show that he is ruled by his family.
Yeah, and I do like that. I think that's a great point. Because it really does feel like there is some of that in the beginning. Like they're laying little eggs for, ooh, I'm going to have... my family's always around.
Yeah, his life is not his own.
Yeah. He's constantly bombarded, and that's, a parent's thing. It's pretty common. But I don't think they really follow through with that other than the daughter being kidnapped. But I think that
spoiler alert,
message resonates regardless of that. But I didn't think about that until just now. Until you said it. I like that a lot.
It was also in the 80s, which is different time. This is like when video games were like arcades.
Yeah.
Like home consoles were pretty rare.
Cell phones were this big.
Yeah.
Like this, not this big, like this big.
Yeah.
And then bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And privacy was less of an issue. Like people were more open with each other.
Yeah.
Kids would go outside and get bloody knees and hit each other with sticks and come home muddied and leave the door unlocked at night.
Drink from the hose.
Yeah.
And live in the hose and be the hose. Hose the drink and hose and hose and hose.
Boats and hose.
And if you had Coke and you came home when the streetlights came on and you could hear your dad whistle. And the hose. Yeah, it's definitely different. Yeah. I felt like it was weird. Again,
it's weird nowadays.
It's weird now, but I feel like
back then.
I feel like it should have been normal. Weird back then.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine with like family intimacy. I just don't want to do it when their dick's out. And I don't think that's asking too much.
No,
but yeah, like you said, it is a different time. I'm definitely not.
Put on some undies at least.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm not knocking anything off the movie because of that. I don't think it makes it a bad movie or like sends a weird message. I'm not here to cancel fucking Lethal Weapon. I just thought it was weird. I wouldn't have added that scene. My personal opinion, Joel Silver or Silverman. One of those two.
Yeah.
Either way, there's a Silver and a Joel in his name. Is there any more banter? What do you want to bant about? I did what I wanted to bant about.
The cat has a sick name.
Oh, yeah, Burbank the cat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not as cool as Johnson, but Burbank the cat. He's a handsome fellow.
We have a Minecraft cat named Sandberg because we live in the desert.
Riveting.
That's great content.
Riveting. Is that it? Is that everything we've got?
That's all I got.
Oh! Movies in the 80s were like 95% ADR. Again, this is the 80s. I understand technology's changed. The movies still use ADR today. It's 2019.
Possibly blended a little bit better, though.
There was like whole conversations that were all ADR in this movie. And yeah, the blending like was so bad. It's like, this is the volume, and then all of a sudden someone comes in with their 80-yard line, and it's like, ah! What are we doing here, guys? ADR is automatic or automated dialogue replacement, so anytime someone's line is fucked up for whatever reason, they go in and they digitally add it. Back then, they probably just re-recorded the actor. And
yeah, if they just didn't want to mic someone up or something, if they're doing things, you can just have their dialogue in after, so you can see that they're saying things, but maybe not the exact same thing.
Yeah. It's noticeable when it's not done properly.
Not done well, yeah.
Yeah.
There's problems with syncing the lips. There's problems with, like we said, the different audio levels. Like, I mean, it's fine, but there's a lot in this movie. There's a ton. I think this movie might have the most ADR of any movie I've ever seen.
Fun facts.
Fun.
I can't hold it for very long.
Get better lung capacity, Carly.
I'm sorry.
Get better bung capacity, Carly.
I don't know what that means.
Butthole.
What do you got for fun facts there?
Fuck off, eh?
You're like, let's get off the subject of buttholes and get the fun facts.
The weapon that Riggs uses is a Beretta 92F, and Murtaugh uses a Smith & Wesson 19.
For all you gun enthusiasts out there.
Yeah.
They mentioned Beretta a few times in the movie, so in case you didn't pick that up, there you go.
I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to put you in a nice car. I'm going to drive real fast. Danny Glover is supposed to be, his character is supposed to be 50. He's actually only 40. And his teenage daughter is actually 25 at the time of filming, something like that. Their age difference is only actually 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. The producers wanted it to feel like they had access to cutting-edge weaponry.
Okay.
So they actually borrowed a gun. It was the PSG-1. It was only the second model released for civilian use.
Was that the sniper that Riggs was using?
Yeah.
I play Call of Duty.
Yeah, you do. And it actually had a custom-made tripod, but the tripod hadn't been shipped yet. That's how brand new this gun was. The tripod hadn't actually been shipped to the gun manufacturer, or the gun retailer, like Bumblebee Guns or some shit like that. Doesn't matter. I could not give a fuck less.
Yeah.
So the prop people actually had to weld a gun. They had to weld a gun onto the gun.
Damn.
Gun for your gun.
Super weapon. They had to weld. They welded a bipod, even though it came with the tripod. I don't know. That's their decision, not mine. They actually custom welded a bipod to fit the rifle for the scene, and had to pay the full $10,000 for the gun's retail price, which I think is backwards. Because if they give it back to the Bumblebee, what the fuck ever, they can be like, "This is the gun from Lethal Weapon," but then they could sell it for more than $10,000.
That's
because it's a $10,000 gun, plus
it was used in Lethal Weapon.
Exactly.
Collector's item.
Yeah.
Get Mel Gibson and Danny Glover to sign it.
Yeah.
There you go. They just tripled its price.
Yeah.
It's true.
Should be thanking them. So now they can, yeah. You know what? Fuck you, Bumblebee whatever.
Bumblebee tuna.
Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee tuna. Your balls are showing.
Bidet.
Yeah, that's all I've got. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. If you want a chance to win the shout out, remember to follow us on our social medias at Jecll Studios. Jecll Studios.
We're also on podcast things.
Yeah, we are available for podcast on at least Spotify and Apple Podcasts, iTunes. That's what it's called. At least those two places. Probably only those two places, but at least those two places. Spotify and iTunes.
Apple Podcasts, yeah.
That's the fuck what I said. They heard it.
We definitely heard it.
Apple Podcasts.
We have Spooky Times from last year up.
Yeah.
And nothing after that.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to do spooky themed podcasts this year.
Well, we have Lethal Weapon 2, and Kill the Irishman. Those are all spooky-ish.
Yeah, those are all Halloween.
This is the murder time of year, not witches. We're going for murder.
True. We're going for real life scary.
Real life scary.
AIDS scary.
We're watching Philadelphia next. But anyway, you want a chance to win the shout out? Follow us on social media. Comment on this video what you think of Lethal Weapon. Comment on the video what movies you think we should do next. It's going to be all Lethal Weapon. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then either at the end of the 4th video, we'll do a little summary on how we felt about the series as a whole, or it'll be its own video. Just kind of depends on how long it takes. We haven't recorded yet, so I don't know what to tell you. But all Lethal Weapon, all the time, 24/7. No, it's going to be like 2 hours of content. So if you want to know what we think about Lethal Weapon, this is the place to be, because you're not going to get this information anywhere else, because we don't know you. Yeah. Like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, I guess, if you want. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You're not even watching this. I'm talking to myself. That's it. That's all I've got. You got anything else?
Nope.
Thanks for watching. And as always, I'm too old for this shit. Fuck. From the top.
One take Tracy.
Thanks for watching. And as always, I'm too old for this shit.